All right. All praise to Yahweh Shemel Shah. So shalom for brothers that are just tuning in. Satan came and hindered the word, right? But the word is still going to go out. So if you haven't watched part one, go back and watch part one of apocalyptic events and the 666. I want to continue where I left off through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah regarding the prophecy that are unfolding in these current events and the judgments that Yahweh Shemel Shah is doing in the earth. So let me dive right back into what I was going into through the spirit concerning what was going on in the earth, right? Before we were so rudely interrupted, man, by these spirits, really working to stop this word from going out. Now, again, like I said, I've never had any issues with StreamYard trying to share the screen and go through this information. But now, you start talking about the New World Order, you're going into these elites, you start diving and digging and getting, deep into it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah and all these demonic forces and spirits and people throwing up curses and trying to hinder the word, and Esau tapped in and you calling him a devil to his face. And, this is how these devils operate, man, right? The Lord said, but we are not ignorant of his devices. So there's a few more things I wanted to touch on through the spirit for brothers that's kind of carrying over from the previous lesson. One thing was Canadian Prime Minister Carney, he said that Canada's partnership with China sets us up well for the New World Order. So now we're looking at essentially another sign of the collapse of NATO. They're beginning to, what's the word I'm looking for? Dissociate with America and detach themselves from dependency on America from a military standpoint and from an economic standpoint. And now he came out and said, literally verbatim, he said that this sets us up well for the New World Order. Now, nobody can say that, the brothers in WFR, all the brothers are conspiracy theorists. Nobody can come out and say that. That's Negro talk, jailhouse talk. Esau in 2026, in front of the world, is promoting the New World Order, the global elitist agenda. He came out and said that. So this is just another sign of them breaking off from NATO. Another sign. And there's always been that New World Order agenda out there. And I want to play this clip. I want to get the audio for this clip through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah. That devil came out and said it. And he kind of looked like he didn't want to say it. Like he paused. It wasn't like a fluid, statement. So I don't know if he got direct orders. Was he under some type of MK Ultra mind control or what, right? But I'm gonna play this quick clip, which is like a small compilation. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, which is somewhat of a compilation of these different elites at different summits, always coming out, and they were always speaking about this New World Order. So let me play this real quick.
Are we ready for a new
all fair use
world order?
After 1989, President Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order.
Since that last.
Now this is the one I was talking about. This is the Canadian Prime Minister. Check out what he said.
Visit. I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
Now, he was told to say that. When he said it in a way like that wasn't his idea. Now, I'm not a body language expert, but when you look at it, two things. One, he said it in a way so people knew what he said, like some type of subliminal predictive messaging program in spirit. And this guy with the glasses, he wasn't given a script. He wasn't in the know. So when this guy came out and said the New World Order, this guy kind of made a face like, should I say something? What's going on? Right? Let me go back and rewind that a little bit. Now you might have your own opinion about it, but look at it. He put his head down. And why would he pause and say new world order? He got a script. They got a plan. Right? So check it out.
Visit. I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
Look at that guy. Man, that guy look confounded. Let me get this preset real quick. Right? That guy looks confounded. This is Isaiah. Right? Let's get this in Isaiah through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel. Right? That guy looked confounded through the spirit. That he had no idea that that individual was going to say that. Right? Isaiah 29:15. It reads, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? I'm going to read that again. Isaiah 29:15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? So all of these counsels that they have regarding what they want to do in the future and who's going to be involved, these things are done in the dark. Right? There are satanic forces. You got MK Ultra, CIA programs and spirits and demons that are working on these men to get them to keep throwing that term out there, to condition the people to accept it. I'm gonna play it one more time. Look at this guy, the guy with the glasses. One more time, he's absolutely confounded. He wasn't involved. See, these guys, they're not in the deep councils, the dark councils. They're just told what to do. They're given a playbook, right? They're given a playbook.
That we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
Where that go?
There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it. We've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it. So anyway,
a moment, a crucial moment to rebuild the future, to reset our policies.
We also want to work together on building back better.
I call it build back better.
But the COVID-19 pandemic can also be a moment for resolving long-standing conflicts and addressing structural weaknesses.
It's certainly a major crisis, but it also offers us a...
You can see all these world leaders, they're all in the same plan, right? They're all in the same plan. They all have the same agenda. They're all looking to move in the same system, right? So I just wanted to share that. And there was a few more things that I wanted to continue from part one, right? One was the Middle East, right? There was something I wanted to touch on regarding the Middle East as well through the Spirit, right? Because there's actually somewhat breaking news, you know. I mean, it's been going on all day, but it's like in Saudi Arabia. Where is it at? Turkey and Pakistan have all joined forces, right? They've all joined forces. So this is breaking. Turkey is seeking to join a defense alliance between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan that treats an attack on one member as an attack on all. Now you can say, well, what's the significance with that? Well, that's just stir your mind up to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Now, Turkey's part of NATO, technically, but their mind is really with those other Muslim countries. And they have essentially formed their own NATO pact, right? These are the dragons of Arabia coming together. This is 2nd Ezra, right? Let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 15. I'm not going to read the whole account, but I just want to get 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse number 29. I'm going to start at 28. Behold, in horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So the nations of the dragons of Arabia are these Middle Eastern alliances. And this is a key alliance right here in the last days. Now, are other countries going to join? I mean, only the Most High knows. But as of now, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Pakistan. Now, one thing that Pakistan has is Pakistan has one of the world's top nuclear warhead arsenals. You got America or Russia, America, China, England, France, etc. But Pakistan is up there. So this has now become a major threat in the Middle East. This is a nuclear alliance. If you attack Pakistan, you got to go to war with all these countries. You attack Saudi Arabia, you got to go to war with all these countries. These are the dragons of Arabia, the kings of the East. Let's get that in Revelation chapter 16. Right? Let's get that. So this is major prophecies being fulfilled. Revelation chapter 16 and verse number 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So the Lord is getting all of these kings out in the Middle East together and making alliances and breaking off alliances and mobilizing the military out there to where the battle of Jehoshaphat or Armageddon is going to take place, and Iran isn't part of this alliance right here. There's a lot of other Middle Eastern nations that's not part of this. Now, could they join later? Only the Most High know. But we know as of now that these countries are tight. And they said if you attack one, you attack them all. So everybody's picking a side. Everybody's picking a side in the last days. Some people are picking America, and some people are picking the Western Europe. Right? I had the article pulled up where they said we need to form our own alliance. We don't need America anymore. Their look is too stout. They're more stout than us. Right? So they're picking their side. The EU, America has their side. The kings of the East, they're getting together. China and China, Russia, South Africa, India, they're getting together. They just had a military drill. Let me see if I can get that. China, South Africa, military drill. Let's see. Yep. See that? So is BRICS evolving into a security alliance? Meaning, are they turning more from a political trade organization to a military organization? Will for peace drills. BRICS test the waters of military cooperation. Now, BRICS is not a military organization. BRICS is the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa alliance, and they are coming together from an economic standpoint, for trade and for commerce, imports, exports. But now, as they see America become vulnerable and the EU break off and do their own thing, they say, look, man, we're going to do our own thing too. Right? It's like you. We're going to do our own thing. And it's telling you what they did, right? It says the first naval exercises under BRICS Plus banner saw Brazil, Egypt, China, Russia, and South Africa take part. India did not. Because remember, India is a whore. Remember, India, they still in bed with America. And now I don't know if India was invited, or India said we're not going. But India, they leader, he freaks off with JD Vance and Donald Trump. So he's kind of trying to find his way. So they said, India, you can't come till you figure out, get your mind right. The Lord said the double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You can't be in two beds at the same time. So they probably didn't invite them. But now the point is, you see these nations becoming more and more military-minded. Everybody's picking a side for a global war. Right? Let's get this in the book of Luke. Right? Let's get another quick precept. Like I said, this part 2 is not going to be too long. I just wanted to touch on a few things before Satan tried to come and hinder the word earlier. Right? This is and Satan didn't want me to do a part 2. Right? He wanted me to be content. Right? But we're not content, man. We got to put this word out, man. We got to put this word out. So this is Luke chapter 21 and verse number 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So now BRICS is looking to turn into a complete military organization. And that would be major. And all nations, I'm led to believe these military organizations, they're all going to have their own form of Article 5. Everybody's looking to have their own form of Article 5, whereas if you attack one, you attack all. And that's going to kind of expedite this World War III ordeal. We read about the kings of the East. Let's go back to Revelation, the 16th chapter. So they're doing military drills, but they're supposed to be a political organization for commerce, trade, to build up their own GDP, to, deal with their own currencies. But now they're doing military drills. That's unheard of. It's unheard of, right? But it shows this is a testament of the times that we're living in. For them to want to do this, this is a testament of the looming, inevitable World War III, right? This Revelation chapter 16 and verse number 14. I'm going to start at 16. Revelation 16 and 16. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. And that's the final end game. It's Armageddon, which is the final battle of World War III. So the Most High is putting a spirit of war on these nations. Now I'm going to read a little of this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it reads, a week-long naval exercise off the South African coast involving the navies of China, Russia, and the United Arab Emirates has stirred debate over whether the primary purpose of BRICS is evolving in the emerging post-Western global order. And I'm led to believe that BRICS is licking their chops. They see the West is finished. I mean, who can't see it? Who can't? And they're taking advantage of it. They're like, look, man, these France and Germany and England, they're finished. What they say, they are falling apart at the seams. There's a saying, And they look, man, let's get our military right because we're going to strike while the iron is hot. At first, we were a political commerce organization to try to do our own thing from a political standpoint. We knew we couldn't beat them military-wise, but now since they're divided and finished, we might want to rethink what we doing here. That's what they're thinking about. The West is vulnerable. They're an easy target. They're divided. The Lord said they're divided. They cannot stand. So let's read this. The 16th, under the banner, Will for Peace 2026, was described by host nation South Africa as a routine maritime safety and interoperability operation or interoperability organization. Officials said the drills aim to improve coordination and protecting shipping routes and safeguarding maritime trade. But some analysts saw in the maneuvers a gradual effort to normalize military cooperation within the BRICS framework, testing whether the bloc can expand its influence into the security realm without officially formalizing itself as an alliance. So everybody's getting the Lord said, let the weak say I am strong. Everybody's getting together. Everybody picking a team. Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. That's our squad right here, right? We the dragons of Arabia. Somewhat the kings of the East. Then you got Russia, China, South Africa, Brazil, India, but they like India. Again, India, get your mind right. Go take a walk. Get your mind right. Let us know what side you on. And don't take too long either, or we're going to make the decision for you. So they picking their side. This is our squad right here. America said, hey, look, we don't need no squad. We America. They proud as hell. Hey, we don't need nobody. We us. Brussels and Germany, they like, look, we need to step up. This is our squad right here. Everybody got a squad. Everybody got a team, you know? So all these nations, man, you know, they're deciding what they want to do through the spirit and power of Yahweh and his only begotten son, Yahweh Shah. And ultimately, the Most High is going to lead them all to a major global war anyway. Right? To a major global war anyway. I had this article as well. Yeah, I went into that already. Right? Bear with me. There was a few more things I wanted to touch on. Okay, with recent events. The blood moon. This is about in March, early March, right? The blood moon, they say the whole world is going to be able to see it. Want to touch on that because that's the first blood moon of the year. It's another sign of the end of the world. It's another sign of the end of the world. So you got the blood moon coming soon. You got World War III on the horizon. You got nations doing military drills. You got the ADL and the Pentagon and the FBI monitoring hate speech. I mean, there's a lot of prophecies unfolding. There's a lot of prophecies unfolding. So we want to keep watch, right? We're going to keep watch, get our spirits right, constantly examine ourselves to make sure that, you know, we're moving in the right spirit, right? You got this going on too. It says 2026 chaos has set gold and silver ablaze. So gold and silver is going up because people are looking to get assets, tangible assets to back up the dollar losing value. So again, that's a sign of America's economy collapsing. Their economy is collapsing. And the dollar is not stable. That's why Canada said that's our new, everybody's getting it, right? That's also prophecy that these other nations are going to, or that rather Asia, as primarily China, is going to be a major influence and pattern their life after America, which is that great whore. China's just another whore, right? She's just another whore, the new tail on the block, right? That's all she is. Let's get this in second Esdras, right? So all of the nations are looking at China as the next big hot thing, not knowing that they're also set up to be destroyed. So I want to get this. So Salaki, this is trying to hinder the word. Let's go to second Esdras real quick. Second, woe be unto thee, Asia. This is second Esdras, the 15th chapter. I want to touch on the part concerning China and the other nations now becoming dependent on them, as if that's going to stop them from being destroyed from the missiles and save them from the wrath of Yahushua. Right? This is second Esdras, chapter 15, and let's start at verse number 46. Second Esdras 16 and 46. And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. So the Lord is calling out Asia. The main country out there in Asia that leads them is China. Okay. Now you have Japan and you have Taiwan and other parties out there, but the main one is those Moabites. Let's see what the Lord said about them. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might be that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. So America, China, has trained their citizens and built them up to be like America. So all of the other nations can commit spiritual fornication with them. They've always desired to be like America. That's their number one trading partner. See, I'm quite sure, thank the Most High, I don't know for sure, right? I'm quite sure that certain whores and prostitutes got their favorite trick, their favorite dude that they deal with. They keep coming back. He's a regular. That's where they get the main source of their income from, a regular. These corrupt, strung out Edomites who don't want to see their family, who don't want to go home to their women. They after work, talking about working after hours, they freaking off with these whores, prostitutes. They at the brothel. They women asking, where you at, Joey? It's your son's graduation. Well, I'm working extra hours. They with these prostitutes, they regulars, cops and other people. China is a regular in the bed with America. That's their main lover. Everything's made in China. So now China's looking to be like, hey, look, man, I'm sick of being in your bed. I want to be the new mother of harlots. I want everybody to get in bed with me. That thrill, that lust. It's nothing but lust. Let's read on. Let's see that in the next verse. Thou hast hate, it's like if thou hast followed her, that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith the Most High, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So they followed America and all her works and inventions. They made bombs like America, suits and ties like America, global trade domination like America. They followed her in everything. As much as they call themselves not being like her, they become more and more like her every day. So it doesn't matter that Canada's leaving and they want to do trade with them and all these different things. What matters is the prophecies, and that the Most High is going to set these places up to utterly destroy them. Right. So I just wanted to touch on those last few things concerning concerning South Africa, China, Russia, and also concerning the military alliance between Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey, and that these are major events that are sure signs of World War III. So there's a lot going on in the earth. So you brothers keep watch, stay in the spirit, right? This is part 2. If you just tuned into part 2, watch part 1. We covered a lot. We covered a lot, right? Satan tried to hinder the word, but if it be of the Most High, you can't overthrow it. Let's happily it be found, even a fight against the Most High. Keep the Sabbath holy, no buying on the Sabbath, no working, no cooking, no sex on the Sabbath, no speaking your own words, doing your own pleasures. Keep the Sabbath day holy. Most High willing, you stay watch, you stay alert, you stay in tune with the prophecies, right? You're tapped into the judgments of the Most High, you're examining yourself. Kwame Yashala. Shalom.